And what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. We are live and amplified at Team Vision TV 16, and it feels so good to be back in studio with our director, Johnny Nunez here. We got a big show, a lot of high school hoops, a lot of college basketball. We got some local teams still alive in the hunt for state championships, maybe even postseason basketball tournaments as they get out of the conference play and their conference tournaments, and high school golf a little bit later on as well. But we're leading things off with a very special in-studio guest, leading the Rancho Verde High School to the state playoffs, to a CIF Southern Section championship game. Johnny Dukes joining us live in studio. Coach Dukes, first off, congratulations, man. What a season, year number one with the Mustangs. I mean, going into this year, did you have expectations? Did you feel like, hey, we're going to definitely get to a championship game? Like, what was the feelings going into the season?
I think no championship is ever guaranteed, but having been at Colony for 6 years, I knew what a championship team looked like, having won 2 over there. So once I got my core group together, I was like, these guys have what it takes. Like, we could get to a championship.
So I know you, obviously, Ivy League play. You're playing some good teams like Riverside, Poly. What are some of the games that along the way throughout the season kind of got you ready for going into the CIF Southern Section postseason? Because it seemed like you guys were getting better the deeper you got into the season, like you guys were playing your best basketball at the perfect time. Yeah, we had a few shutdowns early, so it took us a little while to catch a rhythm. But from January on, we didn't have any shutdowns, so we were able to get in shape. We were able to gain some continuity, so we got it rolling. But some of the teams that we played against were definitely the San Marcos team from San Diego, who was really, really good. Mm-hmm. We also played Poly. We had to see Poly twice. So those were 2 good tests for us. And I didn't have my best player the first game, so the score may have looked a little lopsided. But when we played them the second go around, in our gym, you know, it was a 3-point game. We had a chance to win it. We had the ball down 1, and then we also had the ball down 3. So we had our chances in that game. So those are some of the games that kind of helped us along the way. So we got to talk about the championship game against Rancho Cucamonga, and we all saw the finish there. And we had some video from that one, and I could kind of see you on the sideline. Did you, as soon as you saw that play that led to the 3 free throws, were you like, yep, that's a foul, he's going to the line for sure? Like, what was going through your head in those final moments there in that championship game? I
thought it was a foul, but it was also a call that you could have not made as well.
Yeah.
You don't ever want to see a CIF championship game won on free throws. You know, both teams worked too hard for it to be decided that way, and we worked all season, and for it to come down to a foul like that, that was a gut punching blow for us.
So what was the message to the guys after that game? Because obviously you're going to the state tournament. You know, how do you kind of build those spirits back up and say, hey guys, I know that, you know, right now in this moment it stings, it's bad, I get it, but we got to regroup. You know, our season's not done yet. Yeah, I mean,
for the better, like, second half of the season, I thought we were the best team in the division. So once we lost that game, you know, I was down, we were all down, coaches, you know, players, they were hurt. So I knew that it would be tough, but I texted them the next morning. I said, listen, you can sulk today and tomorrow, but Monday we're getting back to work. So, you know, you can have your downtime, feel bad about it. I understand. I've been there. I lost the CIF championship game my senior year as well to Long Beach Poly at the Pond. But so I told them, you know, sulk for 2 days, but when school starts Monday, when we get to practice, it's back to work. I still believe we're the best team in the division, and we're going to have a shot at state. So
you see the brackets come out. You guys come out as the #1 seed in Southern California. Did that kind of re-energize the guys? Like, okay, all right, Division III, #1 seed. Like, you know, the people out there, the CIF, they're putting a lot of respect on the Mustangs.
I think that's where we felt like we belonged all along.
Yeah.
For us to get a 7 seed in the CIF playoff was kind of a joke, in my opinion. I don't know who was doing the voting, but we were definitely not a 7, obviously. For us to get a 7 in CIF and 1 in state, like,
it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. But once we got the 1, I was like, look, we're here. We're the best team. Even though, you know, we dropped that game, I still feel like we're the best team in our division, and we're going to have a shot at state.
Well, it was a heck of a run, and let's do a little name dropping, Coach. You know, we had you on early on in the season. Davis, McFarland. I don't want to leave any guys out, but who were some of the key players this year for Rancho Verde?
Kimani Davis was definitely, he was our leader. He was our go-to guy.
Sure.
He had been a 4-year guy at Rancho, so we leaned on him heavily. Whenever it was late game and we needed a bucket, that was somebody we leaned on. But Anthony Smith Jr. had a really big season. As you guys saw the championship game,
yeah.
He exploded. But he had 2 or 3 other 25-plus point games throughout the season. So it wasn't a surprise. He just had a really good night, but I wasn't surprised by it. But the other 2 guys who really stepped up along the way were Jacob McFarland. He grew, I'm not even talking stature because he's 6'10", but
yeah, he's tall too.
He grew tremendously as a player just throughout the season. You could see his confidence growing more and more and more each game. And then our point guard, who's only a sophomore, he is going to be a stud. Jermaine Washington Jr., he is a really, really good player, dynamic point guard, super athletic, can shoot the 3 off the dribble. I think he kind of took a back seat to the older guys this year.
Yeah.
But next year, we bring up the bulk of our core back, with the exception of Kimani. So we're going to have a chance to be really, really good again, right off the bat. So, but he is going to be a very big part in what we do next year.
Coach, that was kind of going in. My next question was, how many guys are coming back next season, and you feel like there's enough coming back, and why not do this again, right?
Yeah, 6 of our top 7 guys are coming back. So we bring back some really good players, and not to mention I had a 6-7 starter that didn't play all season. So he'll be back next year. So I think we're going to pick up right where we left off, and we might even be a little bit better because now the guys have a year under my system. They know what I expect. They know what we want to do. And then they'll all be 1 year bigger, stronger, and faster. So if each player can get a little bit better, I think we can make up for what we lose in Kimani Davis. It'll be spread out amongst several players, but I think we're going to have a chance to be special next year.
Coach, being the head coach this season, what's something that you learned along the way? You're like, okay, now that I'm the head coach, something that you learned along the way that, okay, it's my program, this is how I'm going to put my stamp on it. Was there anything that you I know because you're a Colony guy, you've been some places, you've played a lot of basketball as well. Is there something as being the head coach, maybe it was something as simple as fundraising, oh my gosh, it's up to me, I'm the head coach, I got to make sure we're raising funds for the program, or making sure the buses are arriving on time. What's something as a head coach you're like, okay, it was a little bit of reality check being the main guy?
The coaching part was the easy part. It was literally everything else that I had to learn how to do kind of on the fly, with COVID. Luckily, my fiance, she was a cheer coach for many years, she's a wizard when it comes to fundraising. So she was giving me all the ideas and things that I needed to do to raise funds. And we actually did a really good job of fundraising. But being in control of all 3 levels, schedules, parents on all 3 levels, it's a lot. So. Like I said, the coaching part was easy. The one thing, as from the coaching standpoint, is that I understood was that I needed great assistant coaches.
Sure.
And I had a really strong team behind me. All my coaches bought in. They all brought something to the table. But I told them from day one that I understood what it meant to be a good assistant because I was under Jerry for several years and learned a ton from him. And we grew a relationship to where he started letting me make the calls. So I was kind of being groomed into being that head coach. So when I stepped into it, I was firing on all cylinders.
That was where you're supposed to be, right?
Yeah, it felt natural. It felt good. And I feel like I'm going to be around for some years to come and hopefully get to a few championships at Rancho Verde.
Surround yourself with great people, right? That's the key to anything, whether you're a basketball coach or in the workplace. So, Coach, as we go ahead and look ahead to next season, what are some things that maybe you feel like this team can get better at? Improvements. As good as you guys were this year, there's probably some areas you're like, as good as we were, there's probably some areas we can still clean up and be a better version of Rancho Verde next year.
Offensively, I think we can get a little bit better. I think we can execute a little bit better. That hurt us down the stretch of the Rancho game. Although the officiating was questionable, we still had a chance to win the game, and we didn't make a few plays. And there are like 4 or 5 plays that I could pick out that if we did one of those differently, the outcome could be different. So I think execution-wise, we need to get a little bit better offensively. Defensively, I think we're going to be amazing because, like I said, they have a year under my system, and I come in as a defensive-minded head coach, and that's where I hang my hat. So if you watch this year, you definitely understood that we defend and we play extremely hard. So, but I feel like I'm a player's coach. So offensively, I kind of give my players free reign.
Sure.
And you may hear me on the sideline. You know, I would go to Kimani and say, "Hey, what you want right here?"
Yeah.
And he would tell me his favorite play or whatever he was feeling at the moment. So I kind of let my guys. I tell them, "I'll let you rock on offense as long as you play hard for me on defense."
Was that kind of the message going in? Being a first-year head coach, they didn't know you, and you were getting to know them. Like, hey guys, if you work your tail off on the defensive end, there's a spot for you on this court. Like, was it even the guys who can score buckets? Was it like, hey, if you play defense, you're going to get playing time?
Absolutely. I will always find a spot on the floor for you if you can defend. And we had a guy, Jameer Jackson. He wasn't necessarily like one of our scorers. He did some things for us, but he found himself in the starting lineup because of the way he defended guys. We played several games against several good teams, and he completely shut a guy down just because of how hard he played. And then offensively, you know, he played his role. He took his shots when he could, but defensively, he was phenomenal for us. And
defense wins championships, right?
I agree.
So, Coach, congratulations on this season. My last question, and I had to ask you because, you know, the Rancho Cucamonga game, do you still think about it? Because you thought, like, if this play was a little bit different or that play went this, you know, this direction, like, hey, we'd be having a, you know, CIF championship party here at the Rancho Verde.
That one is going to haunt me forever. And I was talking to Jerry right after the game. We went out to eat, and I almost didn't want to go. And my fiance, she was like, "No, you're coming." Because they were like, "Do you want to go eat?" I'm like, "No,
you got to eat, man.
I don't want to go. I want to go home."
You still got to eat.
But I told Jerry.
Well, you said as a player you were in that spot too, right? Did all those feelings kind of come back?
Yeah, I remembered it like it was yesterday. So when we got in the locker room, I was very empathetic towards them because I literally felt that exact same emotion 20 years because we lost in 2002. You know, we played 2022. So it was a tough one to swallow. That's a tough one to swallow. And I was telling Jerry, whether I win one championship or I win 7 championships, if I win one, I'm going to say I should have 2. If I win 7, I'm going to say I should have 8. Yeah. Because we should have won that game. And we were more than capable of winning that game. But first year coach, you know, it was great to get there. I wish it would have ended differently, but I'm proud of my guys. I'm proud of my team. You know, we worked extremely hard. We had a lot of bumps in the road along the way, and those guys worked hard every single day. They persevered. They fought through everything, and I felt like they deserved to win that game.
And how quickly can you get back in the gym and start getting ready for the next one?
It won't be long. I told them we're going to take a few weeks off, but early April we're going to be getting back into the gym at least 2 to 3 days a week. We got to get ready for Section 7 that's coming up in Arizona. So
that's a big one.
That's in June. So I'm going to give them a couple of weeks off. You know, travel ball is going to start up, so they'll still be playing. So, you know,
they're not sitting on the couch doing nothing.
It's nonstop now. It's 12 months a year. It's not like how it used to be. So they're in the gym probably right now as we speak. But as far as Rancho Verde, we're going to probably take off until early next month, and then we'll get back in the gym a couple of days a week. We definitely need to get stronger physically, so we'll be in the weight room, and Coach said is going to do a great job with that. He's actually got a football background, so he's going to put the weight on him.
And that Section 7, I mean, that's some of the top teams in the country. So I know obviously you're going to miss Kimani Davis because he's such a big time scorer, but you're going to find out what you got pretty quick, right? When you go to that Section 7, I mean, there's going to be some good teams there.
Yeah. So here's the thing, we lost Kimani for 10 days. Unjustly, by the way, for COVID shutdown. He didn't even have COVID. He was near someone that had COVID. But he was shut down for 10 days. So I was telling my coaching staff, this is what we're going to look like next year. Yeah. And we won 5 out of those 7 games. One of those losses was to Poly, and the other one was a 3-point loss to San Marcos without my best player. And they were one of the top teams in San Diego. Yeah. So I kind of already have an idea.
You're like, oh, we're going to be okay.
Of what we're going to look like, minus the 6'7" kid that should be back. Yeah. So we're good. I have no doubt in my mind we're going to be really good next year.
Well, basketball season is over. I'm sure Beyonce was ready to have some quality time again, right? Because I'm sure basketball season is just nonstop, right?
It's
As the head
nonstop.
coach, it's nonstop.
And she's been there every step of the way. She's only missed one game this year because of work. But I just booked us a trip, so
there you go.
We'll
right?
be going on vacation pretty soon. So I think she'll be happy.
With all that fundraising, I think she earned it. So, Coach Dukes, hey, I appreciate it. Good to see you. Congratulations on this season, and let's do this again real soon. It sounds like you got a good thing going at Rancho Verde.
Will do. Thank you for having me.
All right, that's
Appreciate
Johnny
it.
Dukes, the head basketball coach for the Rancho Verde Mustangs. We're going to take our first break here on the Inland Sports Show. We're going to talk more Centennial basketball, Yucaipa boys golf, and we'll break down our local college basketball teams still in the hunt. In fact, California Baptist, I believe, is playing right now at the WAC tournament, hashtag WAC Vegas in Las Vegas. We'll be right back here on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.
What up, guys? Boost Man here at the Boost Performance Center. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
This segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods in Norco. Since 1976, Ken Sporting Goods has been #1 in the Inland Empire, providing team uniforms, sports equipment, Letterman jackets, and more. Visit them off Hamner in Norco or online at kensportinggoods.com. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Join Ray Bass and his experienced coaching staff for sports training to become bigger, stronger, and faster. Athletes from all sports, boys and girls, are welcome. Plus, learn more about the Bass Private School at boosttrainingsystems.com. And Danny's Pizza in Yucaipa. Looking for the best pizza in the Inland Empire? Look no more. You'll find it at Danny's Pizza off of Yucaipa Boulevard. Mention the Inland Sports Show and get 20% off your next order. So the next time you're ordering pizza for your family or maybe your entire team, make sure it's Danny's Pizza. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Pep Fernandez. We're here at the Boost Performance Center with another gridiron question with the Boost man, Ray Bass. And Ray, this week, you've trained a lot of youth athletes. What advice would you give to parents out there who take their child's development seriously?
So I'd say the advice I'd give them is you have to give your kids time. And you really want to ask this question, is it important for your child to be the best at 12 years old, or is it more important for them to be the best at 17, 18 years old? That's what development is all about. It's about, peaking at the right time. So that's really important. I can't tell you how many parents I get that come into the gym and they're like, they want them to be the best right now. They want them to compete right now, they need to be around the best all the time. But the reality is that all these kids are they're where they're at, and they're gonna peak at different times, and you got to see that through. Also, you want to invest in a robust strength and conditioning program. And the reason why I say that is because, you see a lot of parents who get involved in sports to get their kids in shape and whatnot. But the fact is, you get in shape to play sports. You lift weights, you do speed training, you do those things so you can have the best year possible competing and playing at a high level, and you can be safe doing it. So, definitely give your kids time to develop and, of course, take advantage of getting in shape, peak performance to play your sport.
That all makes sense. That's the Boost man, everybody. Make sure you're following Boost Training on social media. You can also send us a question. We'll see you next time with another gridiron question here at the Boost Performance Center.
Yes, sir.
to Palma, hands it off to Oleda. Ani Oleda already with 4 assists. Georgia Dale pulls the trigger on another 3. She got it.
We are the IE. We work hard. In fact, that's the way we like it. We wake up early, we stay up late to get the job done right. That blue-collar, hard-working mentality is the same reason we have so many successful teams and coaches and athletes in the Inland Empire. We never give up. We are a resilient bunch in the IE. Everything we have, we've earned. No excuses. It's this determined attitude is what powers our small businesses, and that's how championships are won. The Inland Sports Team is looking to team up with other like-minded small businesses in the IE. Together, we can grow. We can be bigger and better. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But we're not looking for easy, just looking for an opportunity. Joining the Inland Sports Team could be the opportunity that you've been looking for.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. Talking more high school basketball. We've got one local team still in the hunt for a CIF state championship. That is in the Open Division. The Centennial boys basketball team on the hunt and looking really strong going into the Golden One Center in Sacramento to take on Modesto Christian. Joining us live on the show right now, he's a sharpshooter, he's a TikTok star, he's all those things. It is the great Jared McCain. Hey, Jared, first off, I want to say, man, what I really appreciate about you is that you always have a smile on your face, man. It's like you're always just enjoying the moment. Do you smile more than like anybody else?
You got to, yeah. I mean, I got that from my mom for sure. Just been smiling my whole life, but yeah, just kind of always smiling.
Well, Jared, you guys are on a roll right now. I mean, you're playing really good teams, and you're winning by pretty large margins right now, whether it was the Southern Section championship game or the Southern California Regional Championship against Sierra Canyon last night. But what are the Huskies doing? What are they doing right now that you feel like you're doing the best all season long? Do you feel like this team is playing its best basketball? And what exactly are you guys doing right now that makes you guys that much better than everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, I credit Coach Giles to just, having us play together. And it's really just our defense that has been just dominating these teams. I think we all come together and we all communicate with each other. We have great chemistry within each other. And the defense is what kills every team that we've played.
We had Coach Giles on the show right before the playoffs began. And I had a question for him, and it was something like, okay, Coach, fill in this question, fill in the blank. The Centennial Huskies will win a Southern Section and state championship if they do this. And he's like, play defense. It's that simple. If we play defense, we're going to be tough to beat. You guys are going to get your buckets. Now you're playing defense as well. Do you feel like this is the best basketball you guys have played all year long right now?
Yeah, definitely. I think we definitely are hitting our peak right now, hitting our stride. I think during the playoffs, we all kind of, focused up and locked in really well, especially me and Donnie. We kind of knew we had to lead this team, and me and him have just been trying to lead this team, and I feel like it's worked perfectly.
Donovan Dent, Devin Williams, Aaron McBride. I don't want to leave anybody out, but, man, you guys are playing some great basketball right now. As you went through the postseason, was the goal always the same for you guys, Jared? Was it, Open Division's, section championship, get to the state finals, and do it in the Open Division, not Division I, not Division II. Like, you guys wanted to do it in the Open to prove you're the best team out there, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's been on my goal board for a while. I've been trying to get this state championship. We couldn't do it last year because COVID, but yeah, I mean, this has all been our goal for the whole season to get the CIF. We did it last year, so we just want to do that, and now we can get the state championship.
Yeah, exactly. That weird COVID year, you guys beat Sierra Canyon for the Open Division title for the Southern Section, and now you have a chance to go all the way to state and get a state crown. But what was that atmosphere last night? What was that like at Centennial High School, winning 83-59 against Sierra Canyon? Was it nuts?
Yeah, I love playing in atmospheres like that. That's insane. With everything school and playing for your high school is kind of one of those different feelings than AAU, where it's a packed gym. It's like your classmates, your teammates, your friends. So it's definitely a very amazing atmosphere to play in.
So now you guys get ready to go up to the Golden One Center in Sacramento. In fact, the home arena for my favorite team. They're awful, but I love them anyways, the Sacramento Kings.
But it's my hometown too.
Oh, is it? I'm a Northern California guy, so there you go.
Yep, I'm from Sacramento.
That is a state-of-the-art, awesome arena. You guys are going to play Modesto Christian Saturday night, 8 p.m. for the State Open Division Championship. So what do the next couple of days look like for you? And are you going to have a bunch of family and friends there? Because maybe it is like a little bit of a homecoming for you.
Yeah. Today I kind of took it off, did some recovery, and then tomorrow we'll practice. Friday we'll practice in the morning, and then we head off. And I know a lot of families coming out. Most of my mom's side lives out there, so it should be a lot of my friends from middle school, because I moved out here in 8th grade. So a lot of my friends from middle school, family. So it should be a fun homecoming.
Jared, when you look at this whole season, you guys played some great teams, including Duncanville from Texas. This is one of the best high school basketball teams and seasons I've ever seen in the Inland Empire. And you're only a junior. Are you excited about not only finishing the job this year, but even for next year, man? Going into next year, you guys are going to be loaded again.
Yeah, I mean, my goal is to win multiple state championships, and so just get this one, lock this one in, and we're definitely looking to do it next year.
I was joking with Coach Giles. You guys are turning Centennial into a basketball school as opposed to a football school, because the Huskies have been so good at football for so long, and you guys now are putting Centennial boys basketball on the map. You guys are just so good this year. Are there certain things that you guys feel like you could still do better? Like, could we maybe even see a better Centennial team in the state finals on Saturday night?
I think we can limit them more to offensive boards. I think Sierra Canyon is just naturally going to be athletic and be good at getting offensive boards. But I think rebounding has always been a big key for us. So anytime we can lock in and communicate to each other more, that's when we'll be a better team. But I think we're at the top right now.
So, Jared, I was looking up Modesto Christian, some of the teams that they've played and what their scores were and whatnot. At this point of the season, do you do a lot of homework on teams that you don't know, like Modesto Christian, or is it more so what you guys need to do on the Centennial side to determine the outcome?
Yeah, I'd say it's a little bit of both. I think you have to do your homework and research just so you're not surprised by anything in the scouting report. But you also just got to focus on yourself, since we do feel we're the top. I mean, we are the top seed and we are the better team in this, that we should be able to just blow them out. But you can't take any game lightly. They're in the state championship for a reason. So we just got to come out there and do what we do. It's just whatever Coach Giles tells us.
Now, Jared, I got to ask you this. So I was actually out there for the Harvard-Westlake game, which was the Southern Section Championship. And some of the Harvard-Westlake fans were like, stick to TikTok, do TikTok, forget basketball. Do you just laugh? Do you just, like, you're smiling right now. Do you just laugh at it and enjoy it and just, roll with it?
It's Yeah, it's pretty funny. I mean, you got to just laugh with it. They're kind of just they're joking too, but it's pretty funny sometimes when they think I need to do TikTok more than I need to do basketball.
And Jared, how did you get started, like in the social media TikTok thing? What are the origins of this? Like, did you always like to just kind of dance and kind of goof around a little bit, or I mean, how did this come about?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of all started with in quarantine. That's when I really started doing it, and so I knew I wouldn't get roasted or judged at school. So that's when I started doing dances, just learning more dances, and I always loved dancing since I was young. So it kind of just blew up from there.
That's awesome. That's right, because in quarantine, like, no one's going to make fun of you, right? Unless it's across Zoom like we're doing right now.
Exactly.
All right, so Jared, we've got a couple thousand followers. We're not as cool as you, but we got a couple thousand followers for the Inland Sports Show. You got any TikTok moves you can give us right now and get us some more followers?
Some moves right now?
Yeah, give Inland Sports some followers, man.
I got you. This is exclusive right here.
Okay.
You got this ready? So here. Little jazz hands.
I love it. Jared, listen, man, you were so much fun. I appreciate the time. Best of luck to you and the Huskies Saturday night going up to Sacramento. Excited for you to be around some family and friends up there and playing for a state championship. But I really do appreciate the time. Tell Coach Giles I said thank you and good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, everybody, that's Jared McCain of the Centennial Huskies joining us live here on the Inland Sports Show. Thanks again, Jared. I appreciate the time. All right, guys, before we bounce out of this segment, let's take a look at our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game. You guessed it. We were talking to Jared about it. It's the big one. We've got one local team playing for a state championship up in Sacramento this weekend. That is the Centennial Huskies taking on Modesto Christian. And listen, like I told Jared, I was looking at Modesto Christian's schedule, who they played, who they beat, who they lost to, what the scores were. Jared didn't have to say this, but I'll say it. In our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game, I'm saying the Huskies win by at least 20 points. You heard it. I'm just saying it. I think Centennial's that much better. But we'll find out Saturday night, but I think they win by at least 20 up there in Sacramento. That's the Kin Sporting Goods must-see game. And Temecula Valley girls soccer, we're going to have them on the show next week as they won a CIF Southern Section Division I championship and then a Southern California Division I championship. So congratulations to the Temecula Valley Golden Bears. They will be on the Inland Sports Show next week. All right, when we come back on this show, we're going to check in with the Yucaipa boys golf team doing some very cool things, finishing runner-up for CIF last year, and they are loaded once again. We'll talk Thunderbird golf when we come back on the Inland Sports Show.
96.7 KCal Rocks. What's up? It's Patrick and 40.
Hey, man, you're watching the Inland Sports Show right here.
Make sure you check out Pep, man. It's Inland Sports with Pep, but he's on every Monday and Thursday morning with Sports with Pep, man.
You guys rock.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. Customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. we just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
What up, y'all? Bruce Man here with another 2 cents on being a more mindful athlete. Consider all aspects of your development that you're not giving your full attention to. Maybe it's your diet, mobility, rest and recovery, or strength and conditioning. Once you identify this, I guarantee you will unlock new levels of progress, new levels of growth, and ultimately higher levels of performance. Boost Man.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Pep Fernandez from the Inland Sports Show. I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for your support over the last several years. In fact, we're going on year number 8 of the Inland Sports Show. It has certainly changed and evolved over the years, and you guys have been along for the entire journey. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it. We're on social media, so if you're already following us or subscribing, great. But you can also tell your teammates, your people at school, your family, your friends. There's the Inland Sports YouTube channel, approaching 2 million views. We got several thousand subscribers. We appreciate it. And make sure you share with other folks who might not be subscribing. Same goes for Twitter. We're on Twitter as well. And if you're looking for immediate results, breaking news, we post pictures and shorter videos. Check us out on Twitter. That's Inland_sports on Twitter. And we're also on Facebook. Yeah, we're still doing Facebook. In fact, we live stream the Inland Sports Show on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, you can check it out there live on Wednesday nights at 6:05 p.m. We're also on the Gram, the IG. If you want to see pictures and shorter videos from a lot of the games and events that we go to, you can check it out on Instagram. So if you support us by following along on social media, thank you so much. And if you'd like to take that to the next level, Inland Sports also has a Venmo account. If you'd like to financially support the show, you appreciate the service we provide to the IE, you can do that as well. Again, this is just an opportunity to say thank you to all you guys out there who follow the Inland Sports Show. You watch the Inland Sports Show each and every week. Thank you guys so much, and the best is yet to come. On the national landscape for college football, but definitely here in the Inland Empire, Jaden Daniels, the pride of Cajon High School, the most prolific passer in CIF Southern Section history. The former Arizona State quarterback has transferred, and now we know where. He announced it on Instagram. Actually, simply putting on the gram, Go Tigers, the Cajun version, right? G-E-A-U-X, Go Tigers. He's going to LSU to play for former Notre Dame head coach Brian Kelly. That's a great get for Brian Kelly and the Bengal Tigers. But on Tuesday night at Centennial High School, Centennial will play Bronny James and Sierra Canyon for the SoCal Championship. So I'm just saying, the Lakers technically don't play on Tuesday night. Could we see LeBron, side by side with 40 walking through those front doors at Centennial High School to go check out that big basketball game?
Perhaps we could get 40 and LeBron in the box.
Bro, I'll show you where all the cool kids sit, where the cool kids section is, and I'll show you where we used to go, do stuff.
Student section it up, dude.
Show you all the cool girls hang, man. It's awesome.
Show your school ID card to get in there, 40.
put on that Letterman's jacket.
Throw rocks and stuff off the bridge.
Come on, Bron, I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. 40, show LeBron a good time if he's out there at Centennial High School,
Back here to Teen Vision TV 16. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. Again, check out Inland Sports, KCAL 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday morning. Talking a little boys golf now with Yucaipa High School. Joining us live on the show, head coach Brian Blalock and a couple of his stud golfers as well. And Coach Blalock, I'll start with you right now. I mean, you guys had a great season last year. I know it's early this year, but do you feel like there's some carryover from last year's season and, something to build on going into this year, Coach?
I do. I think that we are very poised to potentially win our CBL League We kind of fell just short. I think if we can beat one specific team at home, I think we can maybe be co-league champs.
Yeah, Redlands was pretty good last year. What was it, D4, I think, champions, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they're studs over there.
Yeah, I mean, the CBL's good, man. The CBL, there's some good golf in the CBL. Coach, you brought Sergio and you brought Mason onto the show as well. Why don't you introduce both of your golfers and what makes them special golfers and just special young men for the Yucaipa High School golf program?
I'll start with Sergio first. Sergio's he's a senior. He's my lone senior. His freshman year was my first year coaching. I was the assistant coach at that time. And obviously he is an incredible part of our team. He's our team captain. He gets along with everybody. He did something kind of cool last year, and he kind of had a little assistant coaching gig for one of our matches that he didn't participate in last year, which was fun. He could actually probably do my job for me if he wanted to, being that he carries a 4.5 GPA. Yes, I said that clearly, 4.5. Yeah, that's Sergio Nunez. And then we've got Mason Montgomery, who's a sophomore, freshman year last year, just came out of nowhere. We were happy to have him join our high school team. He is a product of the desert, the Coachella Valley, and one of the top 4 golfers in all of CBL League, and had a chance to win CBL, ended up as a freshman going up to state finals. And he didn't play as well as he wanted to, but we're hopefully get another shot at it this year.
Well, thanks, Coach, for those introductions. Let me go to Mason first, Mason Montgomery down there. And Coach mentioned it, Mason, going to the state meet as a freshman. There's not a lot of golfers that even reach the state meet, let alone as a freshman. What was that experience like? And do you feel like you're not too far off from where you saw those top golfers last season?
Yeah, it was a great experience because most of the golfers I played up there were seniors and stuff. And to be able to do that as a freshman, it gave me a lot of confidence going into the next 3 years of high school.
You know, Mason, I know you're a sophomore now, so you're like a seasoned veteran on this Yucaipa High School team, doing so well last year and going so deep into the season. But, when you guys go out there on the links and you're practicing, what are some things as a golfer do you feel like you can still get dialed in and be better for this year?
Always short game and making sure eliminating mistakes on the golf course when in trouble, just getting out of trouble, and then minimizing the damage, and just also putting. Putting is a huge part.
Short game, putting, damage. I think that speaks for all of us who try to play golf out there. And Sergio Nunez. Sergio, I'm just curious, 4.5 GPA, honors classes, the whole deal. What classes do you have right now? Because here you are. It's the back half of your senior year. You're playing golf, probably the smartest kid at the school. You're loving life. But what classes do you have right now?
So right now my schedule's pretty loaded, actually. I'm in my AP English Literature class. I have AP Calculus BC. I'm in AP Government, AP Microeconomics, AP Macroeconomics, and AP Statistics. So
there's a lot of seniors, and I'm sure you've heard of the term senioritis, right? Not Sergio. I mean, he's like, no, I'm going to go in a little bit deeper. I'm going to take the even harder classes. Coach, when you got kids like Mason and Sergio on your squad, I can see why you're so excited about what this season might look like for the Yucaipa Thunderbirds. We mentioned Redlands and CBL play, and even beyond that, going to CIF. What do you think you guys have to do as a team to reach those goals?
I think it's really simple. These guys, when they're playing with their peers at home, they shoot incredible scores. When we're working on the range, they're hitting every shot that I ask them to hit. They take direction very well. They just have to do it when the under the gun, when the pressure's on, and when they know Redlands comes to our house. Last year we had our lowest team score since I've been coaching, and we still lost. So that shows you just how good Redlands is, and we always tip our caps to them. But I think this year, if our 6 boys, if they show up, we'll get them. We'll get them this year at home.
Let me go back to Sergio on this one. And Sergio, you're a 4-year guy, 4-year varsity player for the Thunderbirds. When you look back, Sergio, maybe to your freshman season, to where you are where you're at right now, I mean, how have you maybe changed as a golfer in areas that you improved on to give your team a chance to maybe win a CBL championship this year?
So really one of the biggest things with golf is consistency, right? So it's all very good if you're able to go out and hit par, but if you can't do that consistently, then you can have a lot of issues making a lot of matches and winning, especially if everybody else is shooting good and then you aren't as consistent. Then there goes the whole match.
All right, so Sergio, you're such a smart guy. Let me ask you this, because golf is so mental, right? It's between the ears, so much of it. So going into, let's say you have a big match that day, when you walk out to the course, or maybe just arriving on campus at school that morning, do you already kind of feel like, you know what, I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling strong. I'm focused. I'm dialed in. The mental aspect of the game. Like, do you know, like on days that you're going to have a good round, that you are going to have a good round because you just feel better that day?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Every match, it starts in the morning. You wake up, you do all your stuff, you get ready, and you have to think to yourself that you're going to do good, because that's when your day starts, and that's when you really have to start thinking about that match. So it's always a lot of mental stuff, and it's a lot of mistakes that people make is they get like a little too stressed out and they start worrying about it all day. You just got to relax about it, and it's crazy how much that helps.
No, I bet it does. And Mason, let me go to you. Do you have a pre-tournament routine? Is there a certain food you eat, or maybe you don't eat, or you wear certain shoes, or, do you have it? Oh, Coach is smiling. I think we got something here. Mason, do you have a routine before big matches?
Yeah, I do. I like to eat a nice meal before I go out, make me feel like good the whole day. And also I try to stay relaxed throughout the day before the tournament. So I feel like if you get overly focused, you'll end up getting nervous. Like if you think about it too much, because a lot of people, they like think about it the whole day, the whole night before, and it just like makes them nervous and they lose their focus.
So how do you stay loose? Do you watch a funny Adam Sandler movie? You listen to music? You tell
Music's definitely a big thing.
Oh, is it?
Music. Yeah. I enjoy music a lot.
So what are you listening to right now?
Nothing right now, but usually before the tournament, just some rap, actually. I usually listen to that. I like that a lot. And just stuff, it just calms me down before the tournaments.
And Coach,
I think staying calm.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
Mason.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, staying calm is one of the most important things before the tournament and during the tournament, in my opinion.
I thought you were going to say you like to joke around and mess with Sergio and be like, Sergio, I heard you got a B+. Can you believe it? That's so bad. Coach, let me go back to you, because how important is it that you keep your guys loose? You could probably tell if they're too tense going into a big match, right? Especially a Redlands match coming up.
Yeah, they do pretty good. They all get along great. We have an incredible group of boys. We really do. I'm so proud of just in the early part of this season how everybody's kind of come together to cheer each other on, to root each other on. They know that we have a legitimate chance to win our league this year. And so I think they're kind of encouraging each other. Mason, he is a sophomore, but he is a seasoned veteran when it comes to tournament golf. I don't really see him on the outside show too many nerves. I don't really think anything bothers Sergio. I think he just kind of goes along. He's when it comes to scores, he's our most consistent golfer. I know he'd like to shoot probably some lower scores at some point, but he is literally, I know exactly what I'm going to get with Sergio. He's going to give me, somewhere between probably about a 40 to a 46 always, which is really cool. As far as keeping them calm, we talk about it a lot in practice. They know that I have this saying calling it detach from the results. If they put in the work during practice and they listen to the direction that I give them during practice and they stay clear-minded, they need to detach from the results. If they do what they're supposed to do during the match, don't worry about where the ball goes.
That makes sense. That totally makes sense, Coach. Before we go, Coach, I wanted to ask you this, too, because I always feel like, especially here in Southern California in the Inland Empire, you start your golf season, you might have matches where it's 50 degrees and there's rain and the course is really, it's tough. And then you get to the end of the season, like, if you're Mason and you're playing in June, it might be like 100 degrees out there. Like you're seeing everything, over the course of a high school golf season. Is it fun? Is it a challenge? Like how would you kind of describe what a high school golf season looks like here in the IE?
It's both. It's both fun and a challenge. When we first we started tryouts this season, first week of February, and it was freezing. I mean, we'd get done and it was 35 degrees where our course is. We're right at the base of the Big Bear Mountain, basically. And, we're finishing up in the dark, and the boys are out walking and they're hitting balls. Coach, I'm sitting in a golf cart and I am literally freezing. Sometimes they tend to make fun of me, like, what's wrong with you, coach? And I'm like, well, I'm not playing like you guys are playing. But they get through it. And yes, the course conditions can dramatically change from February to the end of the season when we get into the later part of April and into the first part of May. It goes from very firm and fast to soft, and every once in a while we get, a rain shower, which makes the course conditions even more difficult. But I think they're used to it now, most of them. The boys that have been on the team for a couple of years, they know how to make adjustments. I drill it into them.
And even, I don't know where you guys, live in Yucaipa. I'm actually near the Yucaipa area. We almost got snow the other day. So, I mean, there's all kinds of wacky stuff going on this time of the year. Coach, before we let you guys go, I did want to say you're a Navy vet. Thank you for your service. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And then also tell me about your, I got to get this right, Finding Fairways. Tell me what this Finding Fairways and how it affects, local kids and local kids who might be interested in golf.
Sure. Finding Fairways is my nonprofit that we started about 4 years ago. We got hooked up with the Loma Linda Children's Hospital. We did a couple of golf camps for them for their Camp Good Grief. So children from in their immediate families, they were victims of murder and suicide. And since Finding Fairways has expanded to teaching adults, veterans, and local youth that might not have, the means or the money to get clubs and have lessons. And we're getting ready to launch our full-time teaching academy here at Yucaipa Valley Golf Club. So really stoked and super excited about that.
That is awesome. That's great news, Coach. And guys, thank you so much for your time. We do have to run here. My wife is a Redlands High grad. Do not hold that against me. Best of luck against the Terriers. I know it's a big match for you guys coming up. So Mason, Sergio, Coach Blalock, thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. That's the Yucaipa High School boys golf team here on the Inland Sports Show. We got another commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk some college hoops right here in the IE. We'll be right back on the Inland Sports Show.
The #1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire is Ken's Sporting Goods in Norco. Whether you need new uniforms for the entire team, a Letterman's jacket, or new cleats for the upcoming season, check out Ken's Sporting Goods. Plus, now you can order masks with your favorite team, school, business, and more. Order for your entire team or organization. Visit kensportinggoods.com for more information and for the latest on the big sales. Make sure to follow Ken's Sporting Goods on Instagram and Twitter. So if you need team uniforms or sports gear, there's only one place to go in the Inland Empire. That's Ken's Sporting Goods. All athletes, make sure you're at your very best by training at Boost Performance Training in Corona. Whether you're a football player, soccer player, baseball player, lacrosse, athletes from all sports and all levels train at Boost Performance Training. Led by former Centennial High School football star Ray Bass, you'll develop explosive power, become faster, and add that lean muscle. Don't be left behind and get a leg up on the competition at Boost Performance Training. Visit boosttrainingsystems.com for information on their training programs and also on the Bass School. That's the Bass Alternative School for student athletes. Trying to earn a scholarship? Maybe make the varsity team. Get a spot in the starting lineup? Well, let Boost Performance Training help achieve your athletic goals. This segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods in Norco. Since 1976, Ken Sporting Goods has been #1 in the Inland Empire, providing team uniforms, sports equipment, Letterman jackets, and more. Visit them off Hamner in Norco or online at kensportinggoods.com. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Join Ray Bass and his experienced coaching staff for sports training to become bigger, stronger, and faster. Athletes from all sports, boys and girls, are welcome. Plus, learn more about the Bass Private School at boosttrainingsystems.com. And Danny's Pizza in Yucaipa. Looking for the best pizza in the Inland Empire? Look no more. You'll find it at Danny's Pizza off of Yucaipa Boulevard. Mention the Inland Sports Show and get 20% off your next order. So the next time you're ordering pizza for your family or maybe your entire team, make sure it's Danny's Pizza.
3-1 the count. Big swing by Patrick to left center field and gone. She comes up big time. Tiana Patrick with a 3-run homer, and that ties the game at 3 apiece. Patrick, her first RBI of the season, and it's a 3-run jack.
Big 3-run jack, Tiana Patrick. CBU softball had a big weekend last weekend, got another big weekend coming up, and they're going to have to play some good teams, some smart teams. Harvard and Columbia are coming into town, and the University of North Dakota. I'm on CBU softball duty for one more weekend, so if you want to check it out, it's on ESPN Plus, California Baptist softball. All right, before we wrap things up here on the Inland Sports Show, a couple more things to pass along as we talk some college basketball for our local teams. Before we get to that, though, real quick, Johnny, let's do our Big Boost play of the week. I'm throwing Johnny a curveball, trying to do things like out of order here. But this was a big one on the high school baseball diamond, King and Norco. Big 8 league opener, and King with a 6-5 walk-off win. Ryder DeJournet, who's only a freshman for the Wolves, knocking in the game-winning run. That is it. King wins 6-5 against Norco. Two really, really good high school baseball teams going ahead in the land of the Big 8. Norco actually came back and beat King on Monday 4-zip. So Norco and King will play again to round out their 3-game series on Friday. That is the rubber match, and I bet you that one's going to be equally as good. Should be a really good one. But that walk-off base hit for the King Wolves is our Big Boost play of the week. So if you have a great play caught on camera, a game-winning hit, game-winning goal, a hole-in-one on the golf course, you set a school record in swimming. If you've got video of it, make sure you hit us up. Inland Sports, all over social media. We'll find you. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So make sure you send us your video so we can nominate you for the Big Boost play of the week, like the King Wolves did here. All right, now to college basketball, and let's start with the West Regional Tournament at Cal State San Bernardino for Division II. March Madness has reached the Inland Empire. It starts in the D2 West region. Cal State San Bernardino going in as the number 2 seed, but they are the host school. So the West Region NCAA tournament, and the Coyotes will take on Cal Poly Pomona. And mark your calendars, it's actually an early start on Friday for CSUSB, tipping off at 2:30 p.m. against Cal Poly Pomona. So that's Cal State San Bernardino. For SBVC, the Wolverines, we got a little B-roll of their big win in the previous round against Riverside City College, as the Wolverines were able to win 66-62. It was a real battle between the Wolverines and the Tigers, but SBVC hangs on. and they advance to the State Elite Eight. So the top 4 teams from Southern California will play the top 4 teams from Northern California to make their way to the state championship game. SBVC will open things up on Friday at 7 o'clock against the College of the Sequoias, the Giants. So that'll be the Elite Eight. If the Wolverines win there, they move on to Saturday's Final 4 in the state tournament. So best of luck to Cal State, best of luck to SBVC. And we also have CBU, men's and women's basketball. In fact, the women's basketball team, they were so good that they had 2 first-round byes, 2, like first and second, I guess, technically. They go straight to the quarterfinals. They will play tomorrow in Las Vegas in the Western Athletic Conference tournament. And the men's basketball team, if you're watching this live and amplified right now, they are playing right now against Sam Houston in the second round. The Lancers won last night against the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, so they advance to tonight. So best of luck to the Lancers, the Coyotes, and the Wolverines, still playing for championships this season. Big shout out to Johnny Nunez. Man, it feels good to be back here at Teen Vision TV 16, back in the studio. Next week, we're scheduled to have Temecula Valley girls soccer. I think we're also going to have Ramona High School softball. Some great guests coming your way as we really push forward into the spring sports season. And then we got some high school football coaching news. I don't know if it's made public yet, but there's some high school football coaching news also going down. We appreciate you tuning in. Stay safe out there. God bless you. My name is Pep Fernandez, and we'll see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.